If you invent something new, you have 1 year from the date of first publication of your invention or the first offer for sale or sale of your invention in order to get a patent on file. So what does it mean for an invention to be on sale? Well, it's more complicated than you might think. Even the courts have struggled with this. Well, I'm going to break it down for you on this video today. Hi, my name is Carr Ferrell. I'm a Silicon Valley patent attorney. Welcome back to my channel. So the on-sale bar prevents the patenting of inventions that have been on sale for more than 1 year. But what does it mean to be on sale? First, there's a difference between selling the invention and selling a product containing the invention. And this distinction is really important. So if I offer to sell you my invention, let's say for a bicycle containing an automatic transmission, that invention, that idea is different than offering to sell you an article, a bicycle containing the automatic transmission. So I might come to you and say, hey, I've got this new idea for a bicycle. I really don't want to build bicycles. I don't want to be in the bicycle business, but I've invented something really cool. The bicycles go faster, they're easier to pedal, they go farther, and they just look great. Would you be interested in buying this idea from me? Now that is not a sale of a product containing the invention. That's the sale of the whole invention. That does not trigger the 1 year on sale bar. The clock does not start running. However, if I come to you and I say, hey, I've got this bicycle, it's brand new, I've just invented it, it contains a new automatic transmission that I've just put together, would you like to buy the bicycle for $200? That does trigger the on sale bar and the 1 year clock begins to tick. So when it comes to selling a product containing the invention, what constitutes triggering the on-sale bar? What starts that 1 year clock ticking? Well, there are two requirements. First of all, there must be an offer to sell a product or service containing the invention. And secondly, the invention must be ready to patent. Now, I'll talk about both of those requirements next. So first, let's talk about what is an offer. What is an offer to sell? Well, an offer to sell is a promise to deliver something in exchange for something else, usually for money, with an invitation for you to accept that exchange. So for example, I offer to you to sell a bicycle containing an automatic transmission for $200. That's a specific offer to sell with an invitation for you to accept. Now the offer must be definite enough so that the other party can reasonably believe that I'll perform on that delivery, that it's a real offer and that I will deliver as promised. Now most offers for sale contain certain terms, things like price and quantity, quality, the place and method of delivery. Now some of these terms don't need to be in the offer. For example, it's possible to infer some of the terms of the sale based on prior conversations or prior dealings you had as between the parties, or just what's common in the trade or industry. And if there's confusion or ambiguity as to what the terms of the sale are, oftentimes judges will try to insert terms based on facts and circumstances surrounding the offer for sale. So let's look at a couple of examples of offers. One might be a Kickstarter ad where there's a picture of a bicycle with an offer to purchase the bicycle for $150, a $50 discount if you'll put a deposit down early in order that the seller will have some funds for manufacturing. A second, less clear example that often comes up is I might come to you and say, hey, I know you have an outdoor restaurant and I have a solar-powered fajita machine. I'm wondering what your interest might be in buying one of these machines from me. It's really unclear here whether I'm making a definite offer or not. And so we would have to look at the facts, the prior conversation, to really understand whether I'm making a definite offer or whether I'm just gauging your interest in purchasing something from me, which I may or may not already have. So from this example, it's easy to understand why these offers for sale are not always quite so clear-cut. A second prong of the on-sale bar trigger is that the invention must be ready for patenting. Now this might mean that it's been reduced to practice, that you've built a prototype, you have an article that works. If the invention is built and working, then it's ready for patenting. A second way this ready for patenting prong might be met is if you've written down a detailed description of the invention, how it's made, how it works, including maybe schematics. Maybe you have a blueprint. But the idea is that you understand the invention well enough to be able to prepare and file a patent application on the invention. The policy here is that we want inventors to file their patent applications, to share their inventions with the public as quickly as possible so that the public can get the advantage of using the invention when it enters the public domain. Now let's look at an example exercising this prong just a bit. Let's say I'm an airplane manufacturer and I'm thinking about designing a new plane, and I come to you and I say, I'm designing a new airplane, I haven't started it yet, but I'd like to offer to sell this airplane to you. These are the specifications, this is how it's going to perform. I'm going to sell it for $2 million. And if you'll put down a 20% deposit now and get in line, I'll give you one of the first units that come off the manufacturing line, plus I'll guarantee the price. Now, this is an offer for sale, but it doesn't trigger the on-sale bar because presumably I haven't designed the airplane yet. It's not ready for patenting. I don't know what the details are of how I'm going to meet the specifications. So this would be an example where there is an offer, technically an offer for sale, but it doesn't trigger the on-sale bar because I just don't have an invention yet ready to patent. Now there is an exception to the 1-year on-sale bar rule, and this exception is called the experimental use doctrine. And this experimental use doctrine flows from this idea that the invention must be ready for patenting before the 1-year clock begins to tick. In the experimental use doctrine, I make a sale, I can offer something for sale, I make the sale, I can collect money for the sale, but despite making the offer and making the sale is predicated on the understanding that the product is not yet ready and it's being tested. It's sold as a test article to be tested to see if in fact it really works. Some characteristics of an experimental use product are continued observation of the product, making changes, having interaction with the customer about how the product is working and what changes might be needed. Sometimes we call this an alpha test article or sometimes an article in beta test. These might be considered experimental use doctrine sales. So we do have an exception to the 1-year on-sale bar, and it's this experimental use doctrine, but you need to carefully think about the sale and structure the sale so that it's crystal clear that this article is for experimental use. So let's talk about some good practices for avoiding the on-sale bar when it comes to dealing with customers. First of all, and most importantly, file a provisional or non-provisional patent application before talking to customers, before making sales or having conversations that might be construed as sales. The best practice is just to file your patent application. If the patent application isn't ready to be filed yet, let the customer know that you're still working on the design or that the offer for sale is for a future version of the product that's still in the works. And if in fact this sale is a sale intended to fall under the experimental use doctrine, make it really clear what the terms of the sale are, including collecting data, making ongoing changes to the product, having conversations with the customer about how the product is performing. And if you'd like to learn more about the experimental use doctrine, go check out this video here. I'll see you over there.